What's up? Big Herc916, positivity, motivation. And as far back as I can remember, even as a child, I never wanted to be average. I always wanted to excel in whatever I did and to make my mom and my family proud of who I was. Even in preschool, when I did my ABCs and my numbers and drew pictures, I tried to say my ABCs with authority, and when I drew my pictures, I tried to draw them with as much detail as possible that a 4-year-old could. But I took pride in what I did. I wanted to shine. Even as a 4-year-old, there was something in me. When it came time to do different types of science projects in school or mock-ups or models, I would put hours and hours into whatever it is I was trying to put together, and get frustrated when it didn't go the way I wanted to go. And I would get mad, and my mom would tell me, get mad, but you still have to get it done. Because I'd be frustrated, and she would, reach out to try to help me. And she's like, I can only help you if you help yourself. And that stuck with me, man. It stuck with me, and I reflect on that from time to time whenever I get frustrated when I'm doing something, because whatever I do, I don't want to ever be average. I remember when I first got into drawing, and I was drawing with kids that were older than me, and they used to draw all this science fiction stuff and superhero stuff, and I would draw, and I would want my drawings to look like their drawings. But they had been drawing a lot longer, and they were older than me. And I would draw stuff, and sometimes I would tear it up and get mad. But I always judged myself very harsh. I never gave myself an easy out. But it pushed me. It pushed me to be the best I could. It pushed me to excel and to do things that challenged me. I remember when I first got into bicycles, my first bike was a Stingray. Had a Stingray with the banana seat. Then I got a Huffy. My grandpa bought me an old Huffy. Blue with gold wheels, gold trimming. Thing was popping in the hood. And in the hood back then, it was all about the hierarchy, where you were in that hierarchy as far as among your peers. And some kids could ride wheelies. Some kids could jump the highest or the furthest on their bike, or some kids could, they could ride the fastest. And we used to always have all these challenges. I remember challenging this older kid, and we raced around the block. We used to have these blocks we would race around. And man, my Huffy had these little gears on it, so I was able to kind of switch gears on him. But he was probably about 4 years older than me, so he was a lot bigger than me. And we raced around the block, and it was a close race, man, but I beat him. And there was kids in the neighborhood cheering and, watching, and adults, because we used to have block parties, man. We'd have everybody come over and have tacos, and we'd have barbecues and music, and so everybody knew everybody, man. It was a very family-orientated neighborhood in Sac, and I beat him, man, and man, I felt so proud. And he was like, man, I heard you switching gears back there, man. You were cheating, man, but I beat him. And it gave me the confidence to always push myself. And even in school, I was always I never want to get a B or a C. Never heard of a D or F, but I never wanted to get a B or C. I always felt like, A was the mark. It was the benchmark. And my grandpa sat me down one day and said, for every A you get on your report card, I'm going to give you $20. You don't get none for B's or C's. So, an A was all that mattered. And I forgot how many categories they had back then, maybe 7, 8. So, 7 times 20, I get $140 every report card, 4 report cards a year. I was on my hustle, man, from back then. I was grinding, 7 categories. That's, 20 times 7, 140. I think you had, 4 report cards a year. Shoot, man. I was on my grind, man, but I never settled for average, man, no matter what I did. I was always about being different, standing out, being my own person. Even when I was a skateboarder, on the military base I grew up on, Treasure Island in the Bay Area. And, we used to get Thrasher magazines and Trans World and look at the pictures and idolize people like Tommy Guerrero and Lester Kasai, Christian Asoy, Tony Hawk, Rob Roscott, all these different Natus Kappas, and we would try to do the same tricks they did, and we would skate hard. Skate San Francisco, Embarcadero, Chinatown Banks, HP Dish, skating Alameda. We was all over the place. And I was one of the few black skaters out there, man, but I was doing my thing, man, because I didn't want to be average. Knowing that I was the only black kid out there, I damn sure didn't want to be the weakest when it came to skating. So I pushed, and I tried things that made other kids challenge themselves, but I was always on the forefront, man, of trying to, pull off a new trick or learn a different move, or, and then when you learn it, you go and tell your friends, man, come check this out. And you go out there and you show them, you do a sad plant, or, you do a ollie kickflip, or, you do a Japan Air or Method Air, or whatever the case may be, when you had the launch ramps, and we'd always be pushing each other, man, but I was never about any average stuff, man. It was always about pushing the limits, and trying to be the best I could be. And I went from skateboarding to playing hoop, and basketball. I would obsess, man. I'm one of them type of people where when I set my mind to something, I can't deviate from that, man. I obsess about it until I finish it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but sometimes it's hard to break that once I set my mind on something. But it does push me to be the best I can be in whatever I do. And you should always push yourself to be the best you can be. Never settling for average is a motto that you should instill in your kids, your peers, your family members, because the better they are, the better you'll be. It'll help you push your game to the next level. It's friendly competition, man. It's what drives us. It's what has excelled academics, technology, science. health, never settling for average. Even now, I'm not no basketball player, no skater. I like to get on the board here and there, but it's not like I was back in the day when I was 140, 160 or 150. But I still push myself, man. And when I'm in the gym, I'm not trying to be the strongest, but I push myself because I don't want to be the average guy in there. And I work out hard. And the same thing when I'm doing anything with my business, if I'm doing anything creative, I'm always pushing those limits. And leading by example, so I can hopefully influence you guys out there to do the same thing. People always want to, have a tendency to knock each other down nowadays, and a lot of family doesn't even support when you have dreams. And you say, hey, I want to have this nice house, or I want to have this nice car, or beautiful wife. People hate on you. Man, you can't pull her, or what you need that house for? And it's like you see other people living like that. Why wouldn't they want you to live like that? If somebody really cares about you, they should want you to have the best things in life. If they don't, they're not a real friend, man. They're not for your best interest. But just to live and not try to fulfill your maximum potential, that's not a life, man. That's just existing. So whatever you do, man, whatever you put your mind to, don't settle for average. Do it with all your heart. Put your all into it. Don't just go to school to get by, man. Get an A. Get a 4.0. Get a 4.2. Take extra classes. If you're going to work out hard. Don't just go there and hang out. Push yourself, man. If you're going to push yourself to the max. Be the best you can be. It doesn't mean all of us are going to make it to the NBA, NFL, or, be a big Hollywood actor or some rapper, but you can be the best you're going to be, whether it's painting houses, detailing cars, whether it's running your real estate business, whether it's taking care of your family. Be the best, man. Don't be average. Don't be an average dad. Don't be an average mom. Don't be an average son or daughter. Be the best you can be. Lead by example. Make people proud of what you're doing, and in exchange, that will push them to be better. That's what life's all about, man. It's pushing each other. Just want to share that with you guys, man, because I'm never going to settle for average in life. Big Herc916. Don't forget to stop by the Big Herc916 store and pick you up a beanie, or maybe a sticker for your car, or a sticker for your laptop, or read one of the many books that I've authored. You know how we do it over here. Big Herc916. Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.